And before I do this piece, one of the things I can say that definitively I've been learning over the last year and a half is that with everything that we do as husbands, I think it was the apostle, he was mentioning earlier, like, it's hard work out there, getting money, getting paid, and all this other stuff. But if your primary duty is not like honoring your wife, like it doesn't mean anything at all. And God will actually kind of put a ceiling on your efforts so that you know what you're supposed to be doing. These are kind of lessons learned. So anyways, this piece that I'm doing is called The Dotted Line. For those of us who've already gotten married, you know that after you do the ceremony, you walk away and you gotta sign your name, make it official. So this piece of that. It's from that perspective. The sanctuary is empty now. Friends and family members have been herded outside for the next stage of the celebration. Our photographer walks slowly about calculating the angles. I lean my elbow on the piano and sigh a knotted tangle of emotion. I can't believe it. I actually did it. I just got married. Here in the aftermath, it's just me, the pastor, and my new bride. Now that the vows have been uttered, the final binding is unspoken. It is time to sign. My heart skips a beat like a drummer with cerebral palsy. My knees are knocking. I just fully plugged into love and the feeling is shocking. The pastor signs with no hesitation. Then he passes the pen to my beautiful forever, and somehow her hands are not shaking. So I lift my gaze and look into the eyes that had begun to claim my soul every day since the Force Awakens when we became friends. She was music and I became Prince. Now her name is my only language. She's my muse, and if she wasn't heaven sent, this addiction would be dangerous. I look into those eyes, and I see a reflection of myself that I rarely saw in my own mirror. I get so used to carrying the weight of the world that I consider my own human experience inferior. But she figured out the access code to my interior, applied her fashion sense, and designed a bridge to be outside of my horizons fence, reminding that tire tracks of higher facts are fine intact. Superman and Clark Kent are one and the same. She sees no difference or separation, just one whole man who she passionately pledged her life to. The echo of her pen on the paper washes slowly over my mind as the drying ink seals the covenant written in the letters of her own name. Her chest rises and sets as the tiny exhales released into the quiet. My fingers instinctively curl around the pen as she passes over this weapon mightier than sword. Now it's my turn. I take a deep breath that feels like forever. It's not that I don't want to do this, I do. It's just that now I can feel the challenge of it. When she gets on my nerves, what kind of man will I be? When she don't do things quite her mama did it, what kind of man will I be? When I encounter the weaknesses of my father, what kind of man will I be? And suddenly the answer seems very simple. I'm not marrying myself. I'm marrying her. So as long as I'm her man, I can become anything. If I find weakness, I can become strong. If I find foolishness, I can become wise. If I get frustrated, angry, or upset, I can fold into her loving arms, spread her legs, and reclaim my joy between her thighs. Her lips remove confusion. And her heart is a palace for my mind to take refuge in. And even when I'm uninspired, her mere presence helps me to create. So no matter how we clash or get irate, it can't erase home plate because marriage is one game and we're on the same team. The pen feels lighter in my hand now. I look up at my new bride and I give her a cocky smile. Our eyes stay locked on each other and my hand is magnetized to the dotted line. It's true, I still have some fears and some doubts, but I know if I can ever recall this moment, we can always work it out. On the paper, I sign my first, middle, and last name, but in my mind, the words look a little bit different. I pledge my life to you, girl. Same team, us against the world.
Wow.